Everybody, welcome back to the Tony Six Morning Show. I'm Tony T. Today you'll get picks here from college football. 3 games on the schedule on Championship Friday. We'll also have picks from the NBA, college hoops, and we'll close out with the NHL. And, of course, before we get to the picks, we'll introduce our cappers, and I promise you'll get right to the picks because that's what we do here on the Tony Six Morning Show. We don't really mess around. Let's say hello to Rod. Rod, what's going on?
No, not too much, Tony. Pretty good football game last night for a Thursday nighter. Definitely back and forth action. Came right down to it. Glad I was on Green Bay. Glad I got the hook.
If you bet the spread, you should not have lost that game because there were 3.5 and there were 3s out there. So those of you that had Detroit minus 3.5, man, you should not have made that play, or you should rethink your strategies here, guys. You got to definitely shop for the best number.
Oh, definitely you got to shop for the best number, and it was out there. So if you like Detroit, you definitely should have been on the 3. So at least the worst you get was the push. I just knew it was coming down. It hadn't budged for 3.5 for most books all week since that line opened up. It 3 popped out here and there, but you knew it was going to be one of those close, tight games. Definitely scoring was a little higher than I thought. Thought we would sneak under, but it looked like we had a chance in the first half. But then the second half, well, it just opened right up, and that's how it goes.
Yeah, I felt Detroit, both offenses were healthy going in, and I had no issue here with Green Bay was going to be able to get off offensively because of Detroit's injuries on defense. But my goodness, with these injuries on defense, you're still winning games. That to me was pretty impressive.
Was impressive, yeah, big time. My premium was on the Green Bay. Good thing I wasn't too high on the total.
Yeah, I had a premium on the over. I heard Jorge and Rod talk about it yesterday, so I had to sit it out. So I tried to give them a different angle. I hope you guys took that first half because the Lions definitely got the money -3 first half.
They did, yeah.
Yeah, and Ron Hahn, I don't know what you paid for the alternate line, but that's I don't know. I don't know about that one, man. I would have, like I said, the injuries on Detroit. I thought at some point, people were talking about Green Bay's schedule. Look at who the Detroit has played. They played the Jacksonville's, Tennessee, Chicago, Indianapolis. They really haven't played at that tough a schedule, right, as well. So I was a little concerned here. I thought Green Bay would make them pay for those injuries. At least getting the 3.5 and the hook came in that one. No doubt about that. Using the Chow numbers, looking how horrible, how low that health rating was for that Detroit defense. We'll see as we get closer to the end of regular season. The issue with Detroit is they got to stay healthy on offense because once they drop guys offensively, they're in big trouble. So what do you think?
I mean, Goff looked like the MVP. He's playing ball. He's taking them down each and every week. They're running up the points. This defense is obviously going to bite him in the ass at some point. Maybe sooner than later. We'll see in a moment. But the down 4 guys, they're giving up 23, 25, 27, 31. They're getting really close. But the Lions are stacking up wins. I can't hate on them.
Okay, and what else has happened? How did you solo yesterday?
Yesterday, we was in plus money. Pretty good day in the NBA. Like I said, we had the total in the NFL. Ready to fire today. Not a strong card, but some little money out there in the NBA.
Absolutely. And money in the NBA tonight. We'll see what happens. Boy, Minnesota, another smash spot. I don't know. The schedule has been so nice for them. We'll get to that game in a little bit, but that one got my attention today in the NBA. It's how the schedule has been very favorable for this Timberwolves of late. But let's get to the college football here, guys. It is Championship Friday. We got some matchups here. We'll start with Conference USA. These are at home sites in the Friday game. So home teams here, no neutral sites. These teams got to get it together and get more fans attending these games before they can even do a neutral site games here. We got Western Kentucky and Jacksonville State. Jacksonville State 4.5, total 58.5. Tulane and Army. Tulane on the road 4.5, total sits here at 45.5. UNLV and Boise State, the big game tonight. Boise 4. There's 4.5s out there, total 57.5. We start with Rod.
Yeah, for me in these couple games, I'm going to stick with Jacksonville State here. Lay the 4.5 at home here. They got the better offense, and their defense can slow up Western Kentucky enough that I think Jacksonville State can win by a touchdown. I think it does go back and forth. Western Kentucky can definitely put up some points, so I think both teams put up points there. Lean to an over, but give me Jacksonville State in that one. And then UNLV and Boise. I just can't go against Boise on the blue turf. It just is what it is. I know when they just met this line, pretty close to what it was. I still think Boise pulls away late. UNLV will be able to put up the points themselves. keep close. But I think when it all comes down to it on that blue turf, it's just too much. I'll lay the 4.5 with Boise State. I think they win by a touchdown.
And there from Ron on over to Solo.
Yeah, Jacksonville State and West Kentucky. We saw this matchup last week. I think it was a little vanilla. I think these teams knew they were going to see each other this week. I expect them to dig into the playbook a little bit more. So I expect to see some points. I think this total goes over. Boise State, UNLV. We also saw this matchup earlier. Same kind of analysis here. That total went under. I think these teams kind of a little more familiar. I think this total will go over.
There from Solo, I'll tell you what I think of these games. I'm going to take Jacksonville State here at home. I don't think Rashad showed much last week here against WKU. The issue I have with WKU is on the road. They've just not been very good. Allowing 31 points, 5.5 yards to carry, 9.5 yards per pass step. And, of course, the Gamecocks just smash them down with that run game. I look for Jacksonville State to come in strong here at home in this spot. I don't know what's up for Rich Rod. I don't know if he's up for a bigger job. We're going to see a lot of the coaching carousel already in action. Of course, we've got a couple of coaches. I think we had a coaching, I think Mendenhall's now at Utah State, making that small step up from New Mexico. A small step. It's baby step, I would call that. But anyway, we'll see some coaching changes throughout the bowl season. We'll definitely see that as well. I'm going to go ahead and lay it with Tulane because I like what I've seen Tulane against these Service Academy school. They faced Navy, won 35-0. This head coach in his past 3 games against Service Academy is 3-0 to the spread, 3-0 straight up. So they know how to defend a Service Academy. So I'll go ahead and take Tulane in this one. UNLV and Boise State. I think UNLV's defense has improved enough for me to take the points in this game. I'd be too nervous to lay it here. Boise State pass defense to me is a concern. They were life and death against San Jose State. San Jose State has a pretty good passing attack, and they got a little exposed with that pass defense in that game. With Malik, with that quarterback for UNLV, I don't want to give him any points more than a field goal because that back door can be open, and they're capable of fighting back here, especially what we saw with this pass defense here from Boise in that San Jose State game. So I'll take UNLV here at plus the points. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Sports Show. We'll turn our attention to this.
Your Rich Rod news is he's rumored to go back to West Virginia.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
On Pat McAfee said, "Hey, go back to West Virginia." I've also heard rumors. Pac-Man Jones told Rich Rod, "Hey, pack your shit up and get back to Morgantown."
I like it.
So
I like it.
Who would have thought 17 years later that Rich Rod would end up going back to West Virginia? Well,
I don't know. We saw it with Matt Brown. I can't think of any other coaches second time around. I don't know if it's been as I don't know if it works out as well second time around. I don't know.
I don't know either, but it's definitely rumored that's where he might be heading to West Virginia. Even on the Pat McAfee show, they said the same thing.
I think it's like relationships, man. Second time around.
Second time around, right?
Doesn't work out. Doesn't work out.
Especially 17 years later, that relationship after 17 years later, be
Matt
like,
Brown.
ooh, this might be a little weird.
He was just too old, right? Wasn't he like 77?
Yeah, he's in his 70s. Like, they like the old guys. They're interviewing Belichick, 72. He went over there, 72-year-old head coach. It's tough in college, man, to do that. Of course, he could probably bring some really good assistants. That's the thing. Is that you're not Ben Belichick. The assistants are going to be doing all the work. That's going to happen.
He can't keep up with 18-year-olds.
Oh, that's going to be rough. That'll be tough there. All right, let's knock off this NBA card. We've got, let's see, let's do them in twos here because we got a funky schedule. All right, here we go. Magic and Sixers here. We got the Sixers, Dogs here, Orlando 2.5, total 209.5. Bucks and Celtics. Celtics now up to 8 from an overnight 7.5, total 227.5. We start with Rod.
Yeah, I'm gonna kick it off with give me an under in Orlando and Philadelphia. Look, these teams been first to 100 type game wins on both sides. They just met. What was it? A couple days ago. It was 106-102. So we're at 209.5. I see in spots 210. Definitely shop your number, but I like the under in that one again. Close game, just as we've seen in that recent meeting. 3.5 is about right where the line was. 106. It's like, yeah, give me the under 210 there in that one. And I'll take the Bucks plus the 8. The Bucks are starting to play some hoops. And 8 points, I think they'll be out for this one versus Boston. I think they can hang within that number with the Celtics and the Bucks plus the 8 there in that one.
All right, just noting that Bucks game, and Ron was right in the chat there. We do see Middleton upgrade to probable, so we might see Middleton make his debut tonight. Giannis is probable there. Still questionable tags here on Horford, Porzingis, and Tatum. We'll see what happens there in that Orlando and Sixers game. We can expect to see Banchero Harris out for Orlando. Embiid will be out. Drummond questionable, so that's how it stands there. On over to Solo.
Yeah, the 76ers Magic game. I think the 76ers in trouble. I'm going to lay it with the Magic. I think Paul George is back on this one. Drummond could be out, so I think what's his Bono probably gets some minutes. I don't think he's really that strong at the basket.
Bono's out. Bono's out also.
Yeah, that total's in question. I think we might see some points. I actually might lean toward the over as well.
There from Solo. I'll tell you what I think here about these.
One more game. I'm sorry, Tony. Okay. The Boston-Milwaukee game. That's a lot of points. That's a fishy number. 8 with the Bucks. I think I'm going to stay on board and take the over 227.
There from Solo. I'll tell you what I think about these games. Yeah, I'm going to be on Orlando in this spot where Orlando has been shooting the basketball pretty well over their past 5 games. They are defending well on the road this season. Philadelphia's offense has been really poor at home, 28th in offensive efficiency. They failed to cover 7 of 10 at home with poor shooting. I'll look at Orlando again in this spot. In that Buck game, I'm going to take the points here with Milwaukee. Celtics just have not tightened up their defense. Their offense has been pretty good. It's playing their offense is at the elite level, but the defense just isn't there yet. And I think they're capable of playing that defense again. I just don't think they've really timed it. Coming off that long playoff stretch last year, I think they'll wait later in the season to really tighten up that defense. The Bucks' defensive form very good right now. Doc Rivers, defensive-minded coach. He's getting the guys to play. Middleton coming back. They're making threes. There's 3 points are out of 46% from 3 over their past 5 games. They're on a really good run right now. So I'll look at the Bucks in this spot. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Corner Show. We'll continue on here with this NBA card with the next 2 on the schedule. The Lakers on the road with a day off in Atlanta yesterday. That day off in Miami didn't work out. We got the Hawks 4.5 total to 31.5. Kings at the Spurs, 2 teams on back-to-backs. We know Wemby's out here for San Antonio. Kings now up to 5.5 total 227.5. Looks like it's going to hit 5.5 as this line's starting to move up. Let's take a look at the injuries here. LeBron, notable, is questionable here for LA. Reeves continues to be out. Young and Lundy are probable in that game. And the other one we're looking at here is the Kings and the Spurs. We told you Wemby's out in this game. Let's see who else of note is out. Let's see here. Carter Lyles out for the Kings. Wemby and Trey Jones out for for San Antonio. So there you go with the injuries. You go over to Ron.
Not a fan of either of these 2 games. I definitely don't want to be taking the Lakers on the road, and Atlanta at home is a home favorite. It hasn't been so good, but Atlanta's been hooping. So slightly to Atlanta lay the 4.5. I just don't trust what we've seen from the Lakers. Lakers have been awful. They've been getting beat down, and even if LeBron goes off and scores 30 points, it's still not enough. So give me Atlanta minus the 4.5 there. In that one, I think they handle business and get the job done versus the Lakers. Sacramento and San Antonio, with those guys out on San Antonio, you know what? Just take the over. High pace. It's like they've abandoned the defense with no Wemby. So give me the over 227.5 there in that one.
There from Rod on over to Solo.
Yeah, the Lakers in the Hawks game. I definitely don't trust the Lakers right now. That's a big number. So I'm probably going to stay on board and take the over 230. I think these teams get up and down, push this total over. The Kings and the Spurs, like you say, no Wemby. I still think these teams get up and down. I think they play at a faster pace. It's a back-to-back for the Spurs. I think this total also goes over 227.
There from Solo. I'll tell you what I think about these games. I'm going to go ahead and agree there with Atlanta here laying the points. The Lakers' defense has been bad out of the gate, and they're 28th in road defensive efficiency. Again, with this Hawks pace, just run on this team. LA's failed to cover 9 of 12 on the road. They're shooting 27% from 3 over their past 5, giving up 40% from 3. And Atlanta has improved their defense. When you look at their efficiency numbers, they're around mid-pack in defense at home, allowing over their past 5 games, allowing just 42% shooting, 32% from 3. So that's a Coach of the Year candidate in Atlanta. When you can get Atlanta to play defense, move from the bottom to the mid-pack, that is one hell of a defensive coaching performance there. So I'll look at the Hawks in this one. Here's an angle I've played with Sacramento, and it's kind of come through here because I've seen it for some time now. When Sacramento is playing 3 games in 4 days, they are 14-2 to the under. And this is something new here. I haven't followed this one, but San Antonio, when they play 3 games in 4 days, they're 8-4 to the under. So based on that, I think you're going to see, although these are teams that want to play fast, I think that because of the spot, they're not going to play fast. I think there's going to be an under in that one. And again, Kings 14-2 to the under, playing 3 games in 4 days. And again, these are both teams are on back-to-back, playing their 3rd in 4 days. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Morris Show as we'll go ahead and close out the NBA with these final 3 games on the card. We got Pacers at Bulls here. We got the Bulls dogs here. Pacers 3.5. Really, for a team that hasn't covered in since Thanksgiving, I think it's been. Timberwolves and Warriors. Warriors 1 total 219. Jazz and Trailblazers 2.5 total 225.5. We start with Rod.
Right? It looks like one of those. It's like, the Pacers laid 3 on the road. It's like, what? Really? Huh. It's one of those lines where you look, it's like I looked at it, I looked at it again, and I was like, what the heck? I know the Bulls are on the second half back-to-back here in the spot, so Indiana's got all the rest, so give me the 3 with Indiana. They haven't covered a spread.
You're going to lay 3. You're laying 3. You're laying 3.
Yeah, I'll lay the 3, yeah. Okay. Lay the 3 with the Pacers there. We haven't seen them cover a spread on the road, as Tony alluded to, in a little bit. So they're due, as they would say. Definitely not. It's definitely not going to be a premium, that's for sure, in this one. But you know what? I will sprinkle a little bit. Everybody's going to fade Indy because that's all they're going to see, right? You're going to see it.
I'm fading ass.
So am I.
Everybody's going to fade Indy. So you know what? I'm going to go on my little island over here, and I'll take Indy. Lay the 3. I think they win by 5.
There you go. I like Jay Fuller there. Premium fade there. Let's go on the solo.
Yeah, obviously, I'm not trusting the Pacers on the road, but obviously, so I'm gonna take the Bulls with the 3.5 just in case Pacers show up and get one. I'll take the +3, but also I like the over. The Bulls get up and down. They're gonna score points. They're on back-to-back. The Pacers haven't been scoring as much, but I think they pinch in on this one. The Bulls defense is horrendous. I think we get over this extremely high total of 248. I like the Timberwolves with the plus money. Golden State's on back-to-back. I think Anthony Edwards and Randall are slowly figuring some things out on offense. I think they come to play. I know Golden State has good depth. They're playing 10 bodies, but they don't really have a go-to play outside of Steph to me when it comes down to the nitty-gritty. So I'm going to take the Timberwolves to get it done. And I'm outside with the Utah Jazz. I'm going to take the Jazz on the money line. Just a spot, definitely not a premium play. Don't really like what I'm seeing from the Blazers right now. This Jazz, they have a lot of bodies. I think they might knock some shots down. I'm going to take a shot with the Jazz on the money line.
They're from Solo. Actually, we can add Scoot Henderson now to the injured, to questionable list here for the Trailblazers. This just happened half an hour ago, or maybe an hour ago. There, we know Curry and Green still out for Golden State there. And let's see what else we have on these injuries here. Nembhard, Nesmith, Shepard out for Indiana. Ball, White, and Williams there for Chicago. All right, how I look at these games here, I'm going to look here at the Bulls here at the plus the points. It's just this Indiana defense is just so bad right now. I mean, past 5 games, give them 50% shooting, 49% from 3. Incredible. They're not guarding. There's something internal there. I don't know if this head coach is. I don't know what's going on over there. It's just, since the start of the season, they have not looked the same. The pace is starting to pick up a little bit, but still the quality of play has been horrible. The Bulls at this one, Indiana's failed to cover 10 of 13 on the road. I'm going to be in this one. I'm going to be on the let's see here. We got Timberwolves. Yeah, this is another smash spot for Minnesota. How many of these smash spots did they have? 3 straight smash spots where they're rested and they're facing teams on back-to-backs playing their 3rd game in 4 nights. 3 times in a row. They did that against the Lakers. They did that against the Clippers. And here we go against the Warriors. The Warriors shorthanded now in a back-to-back, shorthanded, playing 3 and 4 nights. That's too much to ask a team without Curry and Draymond to cover this game. Minnesota, another 3rd straight smash spot here for Minnesota. I don't know, man, what they've done here to the schedule maker, but man, they get the schedule makers get them 3 wins right there with this spot. Golden State 3-10 of the spread, playing their 3rd game in 4 nights there. So everything's on Minnesota here. That's a Minnesota smash spot there. I was going to say the Trailblazers. I was gonna look Portland, but now that I saw Scoot Henderson on questionable list, it looked to me if he plays, the Trailblazers could have pretty much their core healthy because the guys that are hurt are pretty much low end bench guys. So we might see Portland here with all their guys finally. Shaden Sharp, DeAndre Ayton, and company there. But if Scoot plays, I'll definitely look at here at Portland in that spot because that means they have all their core healthy, and which it's hard to haven't seen for a while. But when their core's healthy, they've got some talent in that Portland team. Although they've been talking, they want to trade Ayton for some reason. I know he's been talked about moving him. Lakers could certainly use some help down low, but we'll see how if that works. But we got someone here talking about Halliburton. We've seen his play diminish there in Indiana. All right, we got you through this NBA card. So now it's time for college basketball. We're looking at this type of Friday card we're kind of used to now, right? Where we see a lot of this, a lot of these smaller conferences in. We mix in a couple of good matchups here from the Big 12 and from Big 10. So we do this time of the year during college. We're not going through time blocks. We'll just ask the cappers until we get to January. Just give us what you got. So, Rod, college hoops, give us what you got.
Yeah, a couple in college hoops. Earlier one starts 6 p.m. Eastern. Delaware taking on Duquesne. You look at Duquesne at home. They haven't won a game at home in the season. And Delaware, they love to fire the three ball. That's all they do. They're just like, blee, 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 blee. And if those things are falling, man, Duquesne's in big trouble in that one. 1-7 against the number. Delaware 6-2. Normally they're getting a bigger number, but Delaware's got a big shot to come in there and outright Duquesne there. So it could be Delaware plus the 3.5 in that one. And then it's Friday night, so it's Iona. They love playing on Friday night. It's just one of those spots. So I'll leave the point with Iona going into Sacred Heart. It could be a battle between those two teams, but when all's said and done, Iona gets the win there in that one. And then where was the one I'm looking at later? Give me the over, Georgetown, West Virginia. I think that should be a pretty good basketball game going there in that one. 8.5 is a lot of points, but I like the over. It's at 143. I think we easily score into the 150s. Georgetown and West Virginia definitely going to pick up the pace and score some points. So give me the over in that one. The few I like there.
The two from Rod on over to Solo.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the North Texas High Point game. High Point is coming in. They played a decent schedule. Obviously with the plus points, they're very attractive. But I think North Texas is going to lay it and get it done here today. I think the Green play good defense. I think this total could also go under. I also agree with Iona. I think they get it done versus Sacred Heart. The Georgetown West Virginia game, I'm gonna take Georgetown with the 8.5. I like the point guard Mack. I like the wing guy Seavey. I think he's probably one of the better defenders in the conference. I think he's going to make a little difference and really pinch in and get some steals and create some transition opportunities for the Hoyas. So take Georgetown plus the 8.5. And one more, I liked. I agree with Brad. I do like Delaware plus the 2.5, plus the 3.5.
There from the Solo there. I'm with Solo here with Cooley. Give me Ed Cooley. Plus, although Ed played a weak schedule though, a lot of cupcakes. They are 300. What's the number here?
300 something. Yeah.
356 in the nation. No, is it 350 in schedule, strength of schedule? 359th in the nation in strength of schedule. They played all weak opponents, but they did lose in Notre Dame. But I will say this: there's an angle for these teams that played in these Thanksgiving tournaments. They have not been good at covering spreads in their first game back. And especially this Mountaineers team that played 3 overtime games in Maui, three of them.
Right.
So give me Ed Cooley in the plus there. I'm going to take Northwestern here. I like Collins as head coach for Northwestern. First true road game for Illinois. This is a bunch of new guguys for Illinois. They're last in college basketball minutes continuity. Northwestern 3-0 the spread as a home underdog. 4-1. To the spread at home, following a road conference loss. They lost by 1 in Iowa to open Big Ten play. So I look for a bounce here from Northwestern, giving me more than one possession here with Collins' team. I'll take him in this spot. Oh, look at Rod. He's going the other way. He likes his Illinois. And that loss,
I don't want to butcher the guy's name, but he's just a beast on Illinois, the guy's name. I would butcher. I'll put his name in the comments because I his name's like this. It's like one of those names that's like this long, and I know I will butcher his name. So
you don't butcher.
I don't want to.
Collins teams play disciplined ball. They're strong on the glass on both sides. They make their threes, and I like that home court for Northwestern here in a Big Ten setting. I'll take them in this spot to bounce back from that 1-point conference loss at Iowa there. And boy, what's wrong with Purdue? What is wrong with Purdue? Oh, that was an ugly one last night there, as they're having trouble post-Edey. And our man Edey can't get healthy now. He's been on the injured list for weeks now. So we'll see how that rolls. All right, we got you through this college basketball segment. Now we're going to move to NHL, but it's time to see what Solo has for sale over at Tony's Picks as we move into a really busy week here. Championship Friday and Saturday from college football. Big NFL card coming up for the weekend. NBA and more. Solo enjoyed a great NFL here past 7 days. What do you got for sale over at the site?
I got 5 picks up today. We sprinkled around all sports, so you might want to sign up with me short-term, long-term. Pair me up with one of the good cappers over at the site. We get into it. College basketball's picking up. Bowl season's picking up, so we're going to be flying pretty heavy over the next couple of weeks. So sign up with me. Let's get to the bank.
To the bank here with Solo over at Tony's Picks. You guys love that 3-day pass here on the weekend. You get all the Solo's NFL and college football plays, NBA, college basketball, and more. Huge volume of action coming up this weekend, guys. Use that promo code TonyT at checkout. It'll save that 15% off. Click the link in the description. You'll find Solo at Tony'sPicks.com. All right, Solo, is always great having you on the show. Continue that success, and we'll catch up with you later.
Thanks, Tony. Appreciate it, Rod. Good luck, everybody.
You got it. Solo here on the Tony Looks Morning Show. All right, let's continue on here. There it is.
Casparis.
Casparis Jakasionis. Okay, there we go. From Rod there in Illinois.
He leads Illinois. He's just a beast. 6'6". He's out 23 points. He scored 23 points in the win over Arkansas last time out. He's just a big man in the middle. So it's just one of those things. I can't wait. I'm going to say that's the best game on the college basketball slate tonight. So by far, I can't wait to check that one out.
That'll be a pretty good one.
I'm going to come right down to it. That's why it's a 3.5 there in that one.
The end game free throws and way up. It'll come down to the end because Northwestern will definitely fight it in their home court for Collins. This team is, and they are experienced. Yeah. Yep. Rod likes sizing down low. He does. You got
that big guy that could just be like, boop. When you get him the ball, that's what you want. You love you get that dunk right in there. Big man in the middle, that's what you want.
Yep, there's no doubt. All right, let's continue on here. We move to the NHL here. 6-game card. We'll cover the games at 7:07 and 7:37. So we'll cover the first part of the card here. The Capitals, Maple Leafs. We've got the Maple Leafs $1.40 total 6. Kraken at the Devils. The Devils here $2.68 total 6. Penguins and Rangers. Rangers $1.83 total 6.5.
Yeah, and look at this one. I just wanted to see if any news has come out on who's starting goalie for Washington. When I made the video, there was no news out. I'm thinking Logan Thompson gets to start here for Washington in this game. In a big game against the Leafs, right? The Leafs have been playing pretty good hockey. Been tough to beat anybody playing the Leafs. It still says Lindgren. I'm going to go with the Leafs there in that one. Lindgren. If it's Logan Thompson, I like the under. If it's Lindgren, give me the Leafs on the puck line. They beat up Washington in that one. And then Seattle, they've been playing some pretty good hockey, but this Devils team definitely playing the better hockey. So you got to go with the Devils there in that one. And Pittsburgh in the that's the next time slot. We did those.
No, we're good. We're going to cover the 7 Eastern.
Oh, you include the 7:30 there?
Yeah, 7:30. Yeah, we're going to split the card. Yeah.
I'm just trying to. There's my notes. I'm looking at you look. I like the under 6.5 here, Pittsburgh and the Rangers. You look at Pittsburgh on Friday night, 11-1 to the under. And then the off of a loss, they're trying to avenge a loss earlier to the Rangers as well. So I lead to an under there in that one with Shesterkin going and Nedeljkovic. Still see a high scoring game. Give me the under Penguins Rangers.
There we go. All right, we'll continue here on. We move over to the 10:07 games tonight. Blue Jackets and Canucks. We've got the Canucks 228 total 6. Wild and Ducks. The Wild 208 on the road total 5.5. Stars and Golden Knights. We've got the Stars $1.18, total 6.
Yeah, and you look at Dallas in that spot. I got to go with Vegas here in that spot. This is a revenge game. These two teams met in last year's playoffs. Dallas ousted Vegas from the playoffs. This is the first meeting of the year. Quite sure Vegas would have had this one circled on the calendar to get their revenge against Dallas. Should be odds are getting the start here. Should be Hill for Vegas. And Vegas at home, they've been lighting the lamp, and I think they get their revenge. Give me Vegas there in that one. And then the other one in this spot, I'm going to go with the Canucks. Give me Columbus just got whooped up by the Oilers last night, 6-3. And now they got to come into Vancouver. Vancouver's starting to turn things around and play some pretty good hockey, especially at home here. Give me the Canucks on the puck line to beat up on Columbus. I like an under, though. I think it's a 4-1 type game. Columbus is going to be really tired. I don't know how motivated they're going to be in this spot. So take the Canucks puck line.
There you go. From Rob, we got you with the NHL. Listen, I got a pretty good question here from the question. We'll wait for the questions once we get to the rundown. So you give us questions, right? I'm not going to interrupt our rundowns to answer these questions. We'll do once we finish the rundowns per sport. So here's a good question, Ron. I thought we can knock here. Serious question. Do you ever get into capping funk where you can't see the forest from the tree sometimes?
Sometimes. Sometimes I've been it where you try not to let that losing streak kick your butt, but sometimes you get on that losing streak where it's like you've capped the game, you think you've done everything right, and it just equates to a loss. And then sometimes you get a run of them where it happens where you won't be right there in games and you get beat. So what do I do? I scale back. As you see, I'm a higher volume guy, so that I like if a play fits my system, I bet it. If it fits my system, I bet it. If it fits my system, I bet it. Well, if I start on a losing streak and all of a sudden it's like you can't get too negative because you know that it is one of these where it goes up and down. So yeah, we do get into capping funks at times, as you would say, where it does get a little hazy, and you're like you continue staying with your system because you know it's been working over the long term, like over the long haul. You don't want to change too much because if you change too much, then it can get even worse. That's what I have found over history. When you get yourself in that funk, try to stick with what's been working. It's not like I'm 20. I'm 48 years old, so I've learned from when I was younger that you find your systems and what's been working with you. Don't fret, because sometimes you do get yourself into those funks where it's like, ooh, things just aren't working. Why aren't things working? So I always look, wins and losses, even after my wins and losses, I will go back and look and say, hey, why did this team win? Why did that thing win? So I do a recap of myself on the games I bet. I don't just put them in and forget about them the next day or even right after the games are over. I'll go back and look and go, okay, I won that game. Why did I win that game? Okay, see, my cap was right on. Or, hey, I lost that game. Why did I lose that game? And then I make mental notes on why you lost those games. And then seriously, you can find where you've messed up and go, shit, I messed up there. I should have checked that a little more and put a little more weight into certain stats and numbers that you get. So you just, when you do get yourself there in that suck, don't despair on yourself, especially when you've been doing it long term, and then you just stick with what you are, because when you start changing things up too much, I'm telling you, it'll get worse. I've learned. You try to change too much drastic, it gets worse.
Yeah, and one thing I like to one of the good features we have over on our website is we really track not only per sport, but if you can go back and look into the system, you can track here by ATS, money line, totals. What you want to do is you want to track your bets and see what sports are you good at, are you doing well in, which one are you doing bad in. I can give you a point. I have not been releasing a lot of NBA totals because I've absolutely sucked balls to start the year on NBA totals. So I kind of stuck away. I saw that, hey, my unders aren't coming in. Let me scale it back and wait a minute. And look, what are you winning at? Like, I'm winning ATS NBA. I'm winning NBA, NFL ATS. I'm winning college hoops ATS. I've been scaling a little bit back down on my totals of late. And I've been doing, if you see me top of the leaderboards, I was doing great. And I had a little dip. I'm looking, what happened? My totals have been sucking. All right, so I'm going to scale back on my totals, work my models to see if my plays, if I'm getting it, if I'm improving on my totals. And really, it really comes down to that. Look by sport, look by side total, and spread, and see where you're hitting and missing. That's really what's going to help you a lot. I think there's a lot goes into that, and you'll be able to improve. I know in baseball, are you betting favorites? Are you betting a lot of underdogs? In ATS sports, are you losing on the favorites and winning on the dogs? There's a lot that goes into it. And you're saying you have issues here with the NHL. What I would do is I would look at every one of those bets and see your winning percentage on NHL moneyline favorites, NHL moneyline dogs, NHL totals, overs, unders, NHL puck lines, plus or the minus, and see exactly what's winning and what's losing. You may find that you're playing too many favorites, you're getting crushed. Or you may be finding that you're not playing enough dogs. Is there a balance? Is there a balance of favorites and dogs? That's true. I mean, it's not, dogs aren't going to always cover, but there are some guys that are great at playing favorites. There are some situations, and I've seen guys that can hit favorites. I've been on situations where I've been riding favorites because I think there's been value in the favorite. Sometimes you have dogs hitting all the time. What happens? Well, they take the value away from the dogs. Now the favorites come in. Because really the bookmakers are playing a balancing act too, because they see how the books are coming. They're basically managing their books. They're saying, hey, we're getting a lot of dog action this week. Let's pat the favorites a little bit. That's what's going to happen. Or let's not pat the favorite. Yeah, let's reduce the number on the favorites. So that's what they do a little bit. But I understand the situation. We've all gone through it. But again, it really comes down to tracking your bets. What are you winning at? What are you losing at?
Yeah, and exactly. So especially when you're betting multiple sports, like when you're going from basketball to NHL to football, each sport has its own dynamics. For hockey, the comment there, Mr. Weskerson is he had to take a step back. Well, for me, I look at hockey. Sometimes you can be chasing a puck line too much. You're chasing that -1.5, and you've got the right side. Your team wins, but they don't cover the puck line. They don't get the empty netter. That happens a lot. When I look at numbers in NHL and dig, and you look at where people are making money, it's slim. It's slim. I'm telling you, hockey teams making money. It's the window is a small, slim window in hockey where you have to find, because there is such a variance between these hockey teams day in, day out. Betting dogs is the way to go. Sometimes that +1.5. Some people don't like betting the +1.5 in hockey. Well, I like the +1.5. If you can get a half decent number on a plus, sometimes you can get a plus, like a plus money on a +1.5. Well, your team can still lose and you can still win because you're getting that extra $1.50. Chasing so I've kind of changed my style where I don't chase as many -1.5s anymore because it was burning me. Same thing. You got to win by 2. When you want to win by 2, it's tough.
A good example here. We talk about Mitch, right? Mitch was having, he's had his downs and his ups, and he went back when in his handicapping, and he just came out. He just evaluated himself, saw his numbers, and said, you know what? I'm not betting favorites anymore. And I'm only betting plus money, And that was the difference there, was the plus money. And he was performing very well. You've seen the top of the leaderboards. He was doing great. I know same thing with my time with the meat man. Same thing. He was, horrible at favorites. I'm betting dogs. I'm betting money line dogs. And again, if it works for you, and if you have a good track record of winning with that, then like I said, track your plays, see how you're winning, how you're losing, and see what's working, what's not working. What wasn't working for me was the NBA totals, because I like unders. I was getting crushed. I said, okay, I'm going to scale back on the totals. And right now, I'm just pretty much, most of my picks have been ATS. I scaled back a little bit on my totals. Even in NFL, I scaled back a lot on my totals, especially on the unders, because right now we're seeing fast pace. These guys can shoot.
Right.
Maybe we get later in the season, I may come back to the unders. But situation like the Sacramento game, this has been coming in pretty well. But no doubt about that. You want to also make sure you're playing in a book that gives you a good enough spread. It's tougher when these DKs, when they have these 15-cent spreads on their money lines. That's tough. Dime lines, we're used to the -110 on both sides. Sometimes you're getting that spread. So you want to have multiple outs so you can reduce the juice. That's the
biggest thing. Yeah, when you're making a bet, reduce the juice, because on those losses, Sometimes you look, you're getting a -1 at some book, and they're making you pay $1.15 on a -1 or on a spread play. Some books will only be -110. You definitely have to shop your number, but then also definitely cap yourself. Like you gotta cap yourself after. Most people don't go back and look. They've made the cap, they played the game, they look and they're like, oh, it's a loss, and they throw it away and get mad, and then they try to go again, right? Well, go back and look and see why did that lose.
And scale it back. Peel that onion. You got to peel that onion all the way to the core. All the way to the core.
All the way to the core. Yeah.
Sports, ATS, money line, puck line. You got to scale it back and track them that way. Where am I winning? Where am I losing? I'm winning here. I'm going to focus on this part. Where am I losing here? I'm still going to track these picks, but not bet them, and see if I can improve my modeling where I can get back to the winning side. That's really what you got to do. When something's not working, stop betting it, but still tweak your models until you start seeing it increase and showing a return. That's when you start betting again.
Well, yeah, I had a good chunk of college football, for example, this season. I had a great start. We were off to a hot start. Well, I had a couple of weeks where I was just getting murdered. I was like, oh my God. So I checked to see what I was doing, and I changed a few things up and finishing down the stretch. It looks like we're going to have a nice little winning season in college football, thanks to what I tweaked and changed. About 3/4 of the way through the season. I couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. I went 0-8 at one point, and a big giant 0-8 run in college football. So I went back and tweaked and looked and seen, hey, this is what I see what I've been doing. And when you go back and look, sometimes it just all of a sudden pops out, and you're like, when you find that gem to go bet on that certain game, where you're like, oh, look at that. Well, you can find those same gems in your losses. We're like, what was I thinking? I totally left that out. Oh, and on my cap, and you find those things. Here's something else
I'm gonna add to this equation here, and it's really improved my NFL handicapping. I'm valuing injuries a lot more than I ever had this year. And that's something you also got to keep an eye on, is look at the injury report. And there are many sources of injuries out there, but I value injuries quite a bit now in my handicapping, especially in NFL.
It's huge. It's huge, right? Yeah. Injuries are huge. It's not, I don't know, NFL especially, because NFL, you find that one guy and everybody knows that one guy's out, so they like hone in on him. It's just like that spot is weak, so get him, and they attack. So it's one of those sports. It's different in basketball and hockey. One man out doesn't make the whole team crappy.
Cluster injuries.
The rest of the team can step up, but it's in NFL is massive. The
cluster injuries. Well, yeah, remember you have cluster injuries. You also have to look at the guys on the IR, because when the guy hits the IR, you have a new starter in place, right? So their starters are healthy. Well, yeah, the starters are healthy, but this is actually a backup in the starting role because we got the best guys in the IR. So you have to also take into account injured reserve. We forget about those guys. They're forgotten. They're even forgotten by the coaches, right? Because they don't even. You're on IR. They just like, okay, stay away. We're focused.
Yeah, you're over there. Yeah, we are.
You're over there. Injured guys are treated like stepchild. They are pretty much stepchildren when you're injured. That's really how it is. But still, you got to keep an eye on the IR, because you get fooled. Oh, we got new starters, so we'll call them starters now. No, they're not really starters. They're really second stringers, sometimes third stringers put into starting roles. So you have to really go. I'm telling you, you got to really peel that onion deep, get to the core. It's a time process, Maybe you're spread out. Maybe you're handicapping too many sports too. And you got to look at the time you're putting into it. You got to really do deep dives in these games. And I've said that many times. You can tell the people that win because they're the ones that are really detail oriented, and they're not just these surface scanners out there. That's how I look at it. You've got to really look deep into this.
No stone unturned. You want to look at every angle possible with both sides of the thing. I can't just look and go, hey, I love Illinois. Yeah, okay, I love Illinois, and then just bet Illinois blindly. No, you got to see what's on both sides. Why do I like Illinois? This is why I like Illinois, because they got some young guys, and they got to take some time to gel together, but they've been gelling pretty good. Scored some points. You got some freshmen that are scoring 15 points a game. So it's just you dig. It's work. It's definitely not as a tossing a coin, and you can toss a coin that way, but telling you're not going to be.
Also important is scheduling spots, because especially in games like NBA and NHL, these teams are playing sometimes 3 games in 4 nights. back to
4
back.
games, 6
There's
nights.
travel
4 games
for
and 6
baseball.
nights.
They've got the 10-game road trips, first game home. You know, you got to also look at the schedule. And I'm not a big a look ahead spot, but sometimes people like that look ahead spot. I'm not so much a look ahead spot because everything's on TV now. Because that was based on TV coverage back in 10, 15, 20 years ago. There wasn't a lot of national TV games, but I'm not a big fan of the look ahead because all these games are on TV. They hit social media. So, you know, you're going to get it. You know, you're showcased no matter what. Everything's televised now. So
Someone's got a camera somewhere.
Yeah, so I'm not a big fan of that. Look, you don't hear me say it's a look ahead spot. So I don't use that anymore because I remember back when we used the look ahead spot is because teams were getting televised nationally back then because we didn't have all these networks televising these games. So that's how it is. But there we go.
The look ahead revenge spot. I'm going to look. If it's a look ahead revenge spot, like you know that team has that spot coming up ahead, and it's a revenge spot against the team, and they've got it circled. You know it's got it circled. Then I might be looking. But other than that, look ahead spot, no.
Yeah,
not in college sports. Not in college basketball. It's a look ahead spot. They're looking ahead to Wisconsin next time. What? No, they're not. They're just looking at what's for lunch after this. That's what they're looking ahead to. Come on.
Yeah,
I know what I was like in college, and I wasn't looking ahead. Nobody was looking ahead to the. Hey, we have to play these guys. Nah.
Yeah, I will say that Jacksonville State the Western Kentucky game last week was a look ahead spot because the coaches didn't want to show anything, right? Because that's a unique situation there.
Exactly.
You know, that's a unique situation, but for the most part, that's it's not. All right, we got you through the hockey thing. We already talked hockey. We got through it already, right? We got through all the games. So we got through them all. So now it's time for our part of the peripheral segment. Rod, what do you got?
We're gonna go to the NBA. I like 3 here in the NBA. A little 3-teamer for everybody. We're gonna take the Milwaukee Bucks plus the points. We're gonna take Minnesota, and I'm gonna throw in the Pacers. If you don't like the Pacers, just make it a 2-teamer. Bucks, Minnesota. I'm the one going to take in the Pacers because I think this is Rhode Island. I'm on the island with the Pacers. So if you don't like the Pacers, just make it a 2-teamer. Bucks and Minnesota. But I like the Pacers today. So
there we go from Rod. I'm going to take the Bucks plus the points. I got Minnesota here on another smash spot here, and I'll also take Northwestern plus the points there. I'm butting heads with Rod tonight in that one. There we go. All right, Indy Island. That's right. That's Rod is on the Indy Island tonight, no doubt. All right, Rod, let's see what you have for sale over at Tony's Picks. Big weekend of action here, Championship Friday and Saturday from college football, heading to a big NFL weekend as well. Lots of hoops as well as action on the ice. Rod enjoying a really good past 7 days, been on a tear, over 1,200 units of profit. What do you got going over at Tony's Picks?
Yeah, definitely been a good week. Looking to continue that good week. I've got a college football championship triple for tonight. I've got my NHL sniper play, looking to hit our 3rd straight on that NHL sniper play. Got my 10-star college basketball slam dunk of the day. Crushed it yesterday. Looking to crush it again today. Or you can get all those plays in my Steak Friday package because it is Friday, my favorite day of the week. So definitely scoop up that Steak Friday. Join me. Let's kick off championship weekend strong. Or even better yet, take advantage of that 3-day pass. Join me. You'll get Friday's plays, Saturday's plays, Sunday's action. And you know I get Monday thrown in early. So basically that 3-day pass is a 4-day pass. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 15% off all your purchases. Hit the links in the description. That'll get you right on over to Tony'sPicks.com where you can scoop up that 3-day pass, 7-day pass, and take advantage of that 2-for-1 capper promotional. Pair me up with any one of the other hot cappers you see here at Tony'sPicks.com. Let's have ourselves a big weekend.
Big weekend indeed. Again, Rod over at Tony's Picks. I've got a best bet on the board right now in college football. My best bet's been hit on a tear right now as well. So get on board with me, number 1 unit producer in the NFL as well. Off really hot over the past 7 days, 30 days as well. Why don't you get on board here with my 3-day pass? Get all my NFL and college football for the weekend, as well as NBA and college hoops. Or if it's in your budget, that 1-month pass will get you covered all the way to January 5th. So a lot of bowl action, playoff action for college football, lots of NFL and NBA and college hoops in that action. But you make the call, 3-day or 30-day. But whatever you do, just make sure you use that promo code TonyT at checkout. You'll save that 15% off. And pair me up with Ron in the multi-capper promotion, 2-for-1 capper promotion. Pair me up.
We're hot.
We're hot. Also covers late Steam plays, which we're the only site that has that, by the way, anywhere. Where we allow our cappers to post plays late in the betting cycle. Of course, all our member plays are in by 11 a.m. Eastern. And late in the betting cycle means we can post plays in between 10 minutes and 2 hours before game time. And those plays are emailed right to your inbox using the email that you used when you signed up to the service. So a very cool feature here with the late steam. We give you picks late in the betting cycle, which means a lot of winning plays there, especially a lot of late information we can pass those on over to you. No longer you can hear handicappers, well, I had this in my pocket, I had that in my pocket, but the customers never got them, right? That's a bunch of BS, guys. I used to hate that when I heard cappers say that. That's why I spent the money to make sure that feature was installed in this system, because I said, I want to be able to give late plays to our customers. Let's get it done. And we got it done. So we got the late steam in here for our customers here at Tony's Picks on the long-term subscribers. So go ahead and get signed up. All right. Before we roll out of here, guys, it's just Rod. I know we're here with you every day, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time with the 26 Morning Show, giving you free picks on the betting board. And of course, we have an on-demand, a lot of on-demand videos over the channel. Rod, what do you got over at Tony's Picks YouTube channel and now on your plans for the weekend?
Yeah, and if you, as you said, go over the hockey, and if you missed the hockey action, you can definitely rewind this video because it's still there. But if you want every hockey, I got you covered. I shot a video on every hockey game today, deep dived all those games. I think I even talked myself out of a spot that I was in as I was deep diving that game. So definitely go check out those videos because as we do the work in the deep dive, I found a spot where it's like, what am I thinking? Forget it. Nope, that's bad. And then I did right in the middle of the video. I was like, what am I doing? I was like, there's no way. I'm like, nope. Looking at the numbers with everybody, and I had to change where I was going and you can definitely watch that video. It's archived. Going forward, I got you covered every hockey game. Check out the college championship show that we shot. It's archived over there as well. So I'm definitely on the look at more hockey, more college basketball, more NFL coming as well. So definitely check that out.
That's right. We got lots of on-demand content up there. Go ahead and check it out, guys. Over the Tony's Picks Morning Show. There we're with you, but a lot of on-demand stuff. And of course, someone says I'm talking too much. Well, we took a question from one of our followers, so that's why we talk too much, guys. So that's why someone out, and this was a very good question. That's why we gave it a lot of time here. So I think it's important for everyone to know that when we get a little wordy, it's because there's a reason why we get a little worried, because we had a very serious question from one of our loyal followers here. So we're going to answer it in full and make sure we get it covered for them, because this is not one of those quick answers you give. There was a lot to it. So for those of you that said I talk too much, well, it's because we took our time to answer a question from one of our followers here on the show. So there you go. All right, guys, check us out on Tony's Picks YouTube channel with all of our content. Rod, before you go, do you have anything else to say?
No, I'm going to ignore that last comment. And
all right.
Be like, wow, it's a clown. Sorry.
No, he has a right to say that.
I know he is. How was I better? It's the same. There's no difference.
Yeah, I don't know. Because you can't make everybody happy.
What do you mean by that?
All I'm trying to do is make the majority happy. That's all. That's all.
Correct.
That's all.
Why?
This is the worst comment. This is the worst comment I've got since we've done the live show. So one bad comment out of how many months have we been doing this? Since football, right? For 3-4 months. So I got one bad comment in 3 months. This is the worst comment I've got in 3 months. So I'm sorry I'm sorry you don't like me, but it's one bad comment out of 3 months. So I guess I'm doing a pretty good job. I'm not gonna make everybody happy. That's just the way it rolls. All right. That's gonna do it.
Click the next one down. I didn't go anywhere. Seriously.
Yeah, there's still. Yeah, no negativity. You got you. We're all positive here, guys. You know, that's it. That's right. We're both on both sides, guys. It's just that's the Michigan State has half ownership in this side as well. So Tony's Picks. All right, that's going to do it, guys. Let's wave goodbye, guys. You guys make it a winning day, and we'll catch up with you again tomorrow here on the Tony's Picks Morning Show.